Ladies and gentlemen, in America, there are certain drug addicts that will never go to jail, and others are certain to go to jail. Now, they claim, drug addiction is, um, a public health issue, not a crime. So it should not be handled in criminal court. Well, they don't mean that for everybody. They mean for the white opioid addicts and heroin addicts out here. But if you are of the Black community and you got a drug problem, you are going to jail. Just understand that. You are not going to get drug court and you're not going to be handled with kid gloves. Not in America. All right. The way they deal with drug addiction goes straight down racial lines. And opioid addiction is no different. The jails are full of these folks. And the prison system have done very poorly with them too. So this came out in Vox January 30th, 2020, how America's prisons and jails perpetuate the opioid plague. Now, under normal circumstances, these drug addicts, what they do is they treat a drug addiction with a drug. They don't do it the Russia way. You go cold turkey and just get all of this junk out of your system. No, they treat an addiction and then they give you methadone, and in many cases people get hooked on that. So what they're trying to do is get more medication for opioid addiction into the prisons. All right, because since 1999, 770,000 people have died of opioids. Now, that number is lowballed. Trust me, this number's in the millions. It is. They're not going to tell you that, though. They're going to always give you the lowball version of the numbers. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are people that are trying to get federal approved opioid addiction medication to inmates. And the prison system, they're saying they're skeptical about this and they don't really want to pour the money or time into giving these drugs to inmates that are, drug dependent. So they're saying that, there's a major lack of, drug treatment in the prisons around the country. And around 2.3 million people are at risk right now. So about 58% of the people in state prisons and about 63% of those in federal prison have a drug dependent use. But wait, I thought they only jailed the most violent people. You see how, a lot of that, the lies that we are told. We know the vast majority of people in prison are there for low level drug crimes where they were not a harm to anybody other than themselves. There are not a whole bunch of most violent and all that crap these folks like to talk. Those are not the majority in the prisons in America. This is why they can't ever show you a number where most of the prisoners are there for very violent crimes. No, they are mostly there for drugs. This is why we're able to show this, and the people that say the opposite are not. They can't show you nothing that matches what they say. So, ladies and gentlemen, in 2017 study by John Hopkins researchers found that less than 5% of the people who were referred to opioid use disorder treatment through the justice system received methadone or buprenorphine, compared to nearly 41% of the people referred to other sources. So let's just put it this way: the likelihood of all of these prisoners getting help, don't hold your breath. Okay. These are not the ones they want to help. The ones that go through drug court are the ones they want to help. See, they got a specific type of drug addict they only want to help, and to hell with everybody else. This is why you should not get behind them with this public health issue stuff, because they only mean it for a certain type of drug addict, not all drug addicts. This is why we still got people from the crack epidemic still sitting in there, and they're not even being mentioned as being part of a public health issue at all. And they're not going to be mentioned either. But it just go to show you the big hypocrisy that is going on in America. And it's the big reason why you will never get rid of this addiction. You know, the evil that you do will always come back to you. Okay, I want to go down to this part, ladies and gentlemen. Prisons don't do a good job of treating addiction. So, this is what they're saying. This is why they don't want to be bothered with it at all, as far as treating all of these prisoners, which is the majority of them, with drug problems. Although the Supreme Court has found that prisoners are entitled to proper health care, medical services in prison are far from ideal, as jails and prisons avoid paying too much for even life-saving interventions, use expenses. But things appear to be particularly bad when it comes to addiction treatment, a space in which jails and prisons don't even act like they're providing adequate care. So in 2018, I contacted the 50 state agencies that control prisons, as well as the Federal Bureau of Prisons, to find out whether they offered medications for opioid addiction. Just one state at the time, Rhode Island. So Rhode Island is the only state in the union that offers medication for opioid addiction. The other 49 states do not. Since my story, Vermont began offering 3 medications in jail and prisons. Delaware reportedly planned to do the same soon. Separately, Michigan plans to offer the 3 medications in all state prisons by 2023, and Maryland plans to do the same in all of its local jails by then as well. Those policies still exclude some populations, local jails in Michigan and state prisons in Maryland, but their expansions nonetheless. The other states are pursuing similar efforts, although it's unclear how expansive or excessive their programs really are or will be, according to the ACLU. The ACLU hopes it work by lawsuits and lobbies. Yeah, they're just doing their usual stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got all of these people, especially in the Black community, who they're actually going to be counting in the 2020 census. They're going to be counting all of these folks that are jailed in the country. Before, they were never counted at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, am I surprised that they got all of these people in jail? And they are highly addicted to drugs? No, no. And even if you bring this up, they'll still come up with some lame reason why these folks over here go to drug court and these folks over here goes to criminal court and they got drug addiction too. This is just how America runs. Don't expect anything better. Don't expect anything to change because, this has always worked for them. Running a rotten system has always worked for them. So why should they change things now? They don't want to have to lift a finger. to make changes to see that more people make it into drug court. That's not what they want. That was never the intention. Okay? This is America. We play things two different ways at all times. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not surprising, but this brings out even more hypocrisy when it comes down to how things are ran in America. Some people get help and some don't. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.